What's going on, everyone? IBG here from a round 3 post-commentary match against Alomel2, the lead or head director of this league, of the NPL. And just going through his team real quick. I did expect Tapu Koko and Needle King and Celesteela and Mega Binet from what I predicted last time. By the way, if you have not checked out the team builder, be sure to go check that out. Cutting through from what I was saying. I at least got like most of the Pokemon he was bringing corrected. He did bring Celebi over from what I predicted probably to be Silvally, and he decided to bring a Araquanid over what I predicted to be Komodo. Guessing to have like a sort of a hazard setter within Araquanid and some sort of offensive pressure with Celebi that could have been provided from either of the two that I had predicted. But anyways, let's get started. Hope you guys enjoyed just before I go into this. Right here, I lead off with a Raichu while leads off Araquanid. Now I knew he was going to make the play to swap with the Nido King, so right here I decided to go for him Power Ice. Does do a lot of damage, though I do wish it was Surf, so that way I could kill this thing. I wouldn't have to worry about this thing at all. But it's whatever. Since he did have Nido King in, I was scared of his Scarf, so I decided to make an aggressive play into Mismagius, since I know that Nido King at most could do at least like half to me, even if it's not a stab move. Which even if it's a stab move, it wouldn't have done much because ground didn't touch me, and Sludge Wave at most could have probably done like 30%. He decides to bring in Bayonet when I try to make an aggressive play from the Neo King. But right here I am forced to be able to swap out into my Tangos. He Mega Evolves and goes for the Shadow Sneak. I believe if I stayed in, I would have been knocked out from the Shadow Sneak, so I did make a good play swapping into Tangos. And I just ended up Giga Draining on whatever he could switch into, and ended up being the Neo King, so I got rid of that thing as quick as I possibly could have. He decided to bring a Araquanid, so right here I just bring a Scizor since it is mainly a defensive wall that could take on a Araquanid. He Toxic, so I made a good play off of that, but he does have Sticky Webs. I expected him to swap right here, so U-turning right here made it like a more of a bad play, but I did have a resist to the Sticky Webs being Mismagius, but with Thunderbolt, it did not end up killing, and I ended up going down to Liquidation. Yes, it was good damage, but I expected the modest max special attack Thunderbolt to kill the Araquanid, but it's whatever. Excuse me, Araquanid is pretty bulky with that high special defense, so couldn't at least expect nothing. Right here, I knew, well, he decided to go for Liquidation, so I just stay and decided to defog to get rid of Sticky Webs away. And I knew that Bullet Punch was going to knock it out, but I did not know if he was going to stay in. Here he decides to swap into Celesteela, making it a good play just to take in the Bullet Punch and saving the Araquanid for later. And right here he goes for the Flame Charge, and I expected him to probably have Flamethrower, but I expected him to go straight for it. So I just decided to U-turn. I'm going to play Mace. He goes for the Flame Charge, and I was really scared of that, but thankfully it does not end up killing me, so I'm able to keep Scizor for at least a defog later on if he decides to set up hazards. So I just U-turn and go out into Raichu. Right here, even though he protects right here and gets that little bit left over his HP just to get back to full health. Even though I am Specs Thunderbolt with max special attack, I do not end up knocking out the Celesteela and ends up finishing me off the way quick. I expected Raichu to knock it out, but it was based on a roll, and I ended up getting it short in the stick, but it's whatever. Could not figure out what set it was, because it did pack leftovers, and it did carry those much of offensive moves with Protects. I did not know what set it could possibly be, and having so much bulk with the Celesteela. So it was very confusing on what I could do with Raichu, so I just clicked whatever was in front of me. Here, I just go into Slowbro, decided to make an aggressive play and go for the Calm Mind, but he had Celebi right here, which I was felt so dumb for staying in and clicking Calm Mind that I was so forced to swap into Tangrowth. Right here, just Leaf Storm does completely no damage for Celebi, and he U-turns and gets a crit, so he's able to swap out and go back to Celesteela. Right here, I just knock off regardless of what he goes into. Could just knock off an item, and then it would just knocking out the Celesteela. Here he goes for the Willis and Mega Bayonet. Didn't know if he was expecting me to switch or just to get some chip damage on. But he goes to Willis and does end up missing. I get Giga Drain just so I can take some health away from the Bayonet and claim it as my own. He goes to Willis again, hits it, and I do go for another Giga Drain, just get more health back. And here he decides to go for Protect, just to at least stall out a turn and make me take a burn damage. Here he goes for Shadow Sneak for chip damage, and I go for the Giga Drain one more time to see what he's going to do. Right here, I decide to make a big play and go to Sizzler, expecting the Destiny Bond coming, because I did want to save my Tangos in the back just to deal with Tapu Koko later, and as well as Celebi. So I go into Sizzler, and he does end up going for the Destiny Bond. What I didn't know is that Destiny Bond ends up failing next turn after the first use. So what my best play was to do would have gone to go for the Bullet Punch, but I was real picky about that play because I did not know if he ran like max speed, because at max speed with Bayonet, regardless if it was Admin or Jolly, it did outspeed my Scizor because I had no investments in speed. But right here I expected him to click it Destiny Bond again, because again, thinking from my battle, I did not know that you could Destiny Bond failed again, so he had obligated to click another move aside from Destiny Bond. So right here I clicked Roost instead of Bullet Punch, and then ended up making a bad play because he ends up just knocks me out to Shadow Sneak. And if he ended up being like max speed, regardless of being Adamant or Jelly, he did outspeed me, regardless, so the Shadow Sneak could have just been a no-brainer if he decided to go for it, but it's whatever. Here I just go into Slowbro, just make aggressive play. I knew he had no big damaging move to hit me with. His only offensive move is Shadow Sneak, and he could just like set up, only has to click Will-O-Wisp against me, so I had to click Scald right in front of it, regardless of what he did. And here he decides to bring in Tapu Koko, so I bring in Tangos just to counter it. Based off the damage right here he shows, it proves to be Specs Koko, even in electric terrain. End up getting like a mid-roll, doing only a quarter of my health. And then he decided to stay and click Thunderbolt again, ends up getting a crit, leaving me at red health. Even though it's a Giga Drain, I'm still not able to live another Thunderbolt, and I end up having to leave Tangos in just to sack it off. Here I go into Slowbo, because I do have the Wakon Berry to at least leave some damage on the Tapu Koko, and still have the electric terrain. Doing a little bit of damage with Psychic, not able to knock it out, and it just ends up killing me, or knocking me out with a Thunderbolt. Like I said, I did stall out the electric terrain, and Specs Koko, Thunderbolt, and electric terrain 100% to knock out the set for Drapion that I do have. Was on a roll. The minimum roll was exactly 100%, so I did have to stall out the electric terrain. If it lasted any longer, I did lose this battle, straight up. But here's what happened because I did stall out the electric terrain. So right here goes for the Thunderbolt. Does over 2/3 of my health. Does not get the paralysis, which is one thing I was worried about if I had to do this at the end of this battle, was if I was going to get paralyzed. Now, I did not get paralyzed, as you see, so I am able to set up an agility and be faster than Tapu Koko. Here I get set up and just click the Poison Jab in front of this thing. And one thing I am scared of is the Celebi, because like I said in the team builder, Celebi could be many different sets. It could be bulky or it could be an offensive set, and I did not know what Celebi could be. Yes, he did show Leaf Storm, but it could be a defensive Celebi with Leaf Storm, and I could not know about that. Here brings the Arachnid. I just go for the Poison Jab again. Not expecting to bring Celebi in at all, which I probably should have gone for the knockoff on at least both the Tapu Koko and Arachnid, just in case we decide switching to Celebi. But I guess he wanted to save Celebi for last. And right here, I go for the knockoff, and I do end up knocking the Celebi out. And I'm able to secure my winning streak, and I even adding on to it. And I end up making another person lose their match. So I'm able to win 1-0. Still am one of the few people with a positive record. I am 3-0 with a +8. It's weird because I'm +8, but 2-0 in my other league, but it's whatever. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching, and I hope y'all are still on the lookout because round 4 is up. It's coming up regardless whenever I decide to get the battle done. And hopefully I'll be able to upload the NPL in at least a better scheduling format, because my recording is terrible. I know it for a fact. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching, and we'll see y'all next time. Take care.